Hello fellow gamers, welcome to Azreality Gaming. My name is Dustin, and today we're going to be reviewing Star Ocean First Departure R for the PlayStation 4. So hang on, buckle up, let's get into it. Star Ocean is a JRPG game originally released for the Super Famicom in 1996, followed shortly later by Star Ocean First Departure, which was a remake that they did on PlayStation Portable in 2007. With the current release of Star Ocean, is available now on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch in HD graphics. The story starts with the main heroes in a fantasy setting where they discover a plague that has been set across the land.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
And they're trying to figure out how to cure that. Upon trying to find the cure, they stumble upon a futuristic advanced race of people that have beamed them up, in a sense, into their spaceship to be able to figure out this plague. It is kind of an interesting storyline. It reminds me a little bit of the Phantasy Star era storylines in that futuristic sense of the world. But most of the game is actually then played back down in the fantasy setting. So it's kind of like a switcheroo in that sense. You kind of expect with a game like Star Ocean that you'd be in the ocean of stars, playing from planet to planet. But that isn't the case, and it's kind of a disappointment in that regard. But the combat system and the gameplay does remind me a lot of the Tales systems games, or Secret of Mana, and those games where you have active combat as you engage. Instead of just clicking a button to tell the characters what they want to do, you can run up and bash them in the head and use different magic abilities that you can set to different keypads on your controller. One of the funny and or annoying parts of the game is the chattiness of the characters during the battle system. Whenever they're engaging their different abilities, they're saying all the different battle techniques and commands that they're doing. Then of course at the end, after you beat that particular battle, all the characters are saying, celebrating together, talking over the top of each other. It's kind of funny, but after a while, even if you play the game about 10 hours, it gets to be a little annoying, and all you want to do is just shut it off. Leveling happens pretty quickly. I didn't notice any issues with the game curving out incorrectly, where I wasn't able to handle the different monsters along the storyline that I was progressing. I didn't have to go back and do any lengthy grinds or anything like that. Of course you can, and make the content that much easier when you move forward, but there really isn't a need to do that. There are a total of 14 different characters that you can have in the game. You can only play 6 at a time though, but out of those 14, there's about 3 or 4 of them I think that are hidden characters that you have to do special conditions in order to recruit them. The rest come along during the storyline like normal. The characters are cute and quirky and really able to get into the storyline of the characters themselves. There are a lot of decisions in the games that you can make that changes the outcome of the storyline. If characters want to flirt or talk more to another specific character, it can develop a relationship later on in the game that wouldn't normally be there if you didn't do those.
The wrong girl?
Huh? Oh, I didn't mean anything like that.
Well, I bet Millie would have been delighted to hear that from you. But if you're offering, I certainly am willing to take you up.
Originally in Japan, there was the Japanese voiceovers, and now they return with English versions of the same game. So you're able to really enjoy that immersed experience with the characters speaking their lines. The graphics have been improved quite a little bit in the game. The character sprites are bright and vibrant. The character illustrations and the dialogues are also been redone from the original Japanese versions. But the background and the overworld is kind of sludgy still. It's still that old Form 16-bit bitmap kind of a feel to it. One of the interesting features of the game is a private action. Once you leave the town, you'll see above the screen that you're allowed to enter into the town. Upon doing so, you and your characters were allowed to kind of roam freely, interacting with different NPCs and getting different dialogue. A lot of these private actions allow to drive the story in different directions. I believe some of them also help determine which characters that you can recruit, and so it's definitely a part of the game that you don't want to miss out on. So the leveling mechanic in the game is a little different. Instead of getting actual XP or levels, you get skill points or SP that you're allowed to use to purchase skill upgrades to change your character's abilities. These skill upgrades can be unlocked in town by purchasing them from vendors. Once you spend skill points into these skills, you can unlock other specialties. Like, for example, if you buy the sketching ability and the aesthetic, you're able to, and one other, you're able to do drawings and paintings, which may seem kind of silly, but there is an aspect of the game that uses that. You can also do item creations, alchemy, item identification, and so on. Some of the quality of life improvements that the game has are things like 2x speed mode, where the characters are allowed to run a little faster in the overworld and on the maps. As you can see, you can also originally run terribly slow. That was kind of a detractor from the game, so by holding R2 on your PS4 controller, you can run faster, which is very nice, because before it was like walking like a turtle. Also, there are evidently new balanced battle mechanics in the game. Since I didn't play the original Super Famicom one, I can't really speak if that's true or not, but the difficulty does not seem overly challenging.
That was way too fast.
My score of the game is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. While I really enjoy playing these older remastered games, the storyline is always very interesting and fun. The battle mechanics was awesome to be able to get into and bash on people in the game. But the game is starting to show its age. All in all, for $20 though, you really can't go wrong with this game. I think it's a solid buy still, even at a 7.5 rating. And I look forward to finishing the game and beating the boss. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.